guys, Shayna here. I have never done an intro like that. that was probably the weirdest intro I've ever done. However, wait, why did I say however? Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm not redoing it. Okay, so it's just weird for me to film like a video in this world not being like a roleplay video. But that is actually why we're here. We are here today because I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Minecraft roleplay in 2026. Now, today is going to be a bit of, this is going to be a bit of like a learning experience for me too, because I never like taught people. I mean, like I taught people things at school because like my friends needed help with stuff, but I'm also not a very good teacher and they can probably tell you that. But I'm going to try and teach you guys like how I go through making a roleplay once I have a script and once I have all the skins ready. I can do videos on how I do like the scripts and stuff because I could talk about scripts all day. Writing is my passion, guys. I love scripts. I love all of it. It's just and I can go through how I do like skins and everything and how I like get worlds and how I set things up. But today we are going to be focusing on what I do once I have everything ready. I just need to get the characters in their right place so I can start filming. Now, guys, my recommendation and what I learned I had to just start doing was that I cannot film a video the same day I set it up. And I'm telling you that because once you set things up, you will be a bit mentally exhausted. And that is because the, just how you film, how you like set things up to be filmed can be monotonous and you'll just be tired. I don't know why. You're kind of staring at a computer for a while, not really doing anything besides like copy and pasting stuff. And when I say that, I truly mean it because you are literally copy and pasting stuff. Now, my big thing is that, guys, you need a script. I'm sorry. You may not be the best writer out there, so you can have a friend write something for you or, you know, whatever. One, do not, for the love of God, chat GPT or Gemini or AI a script, I swear. Because one, people will know. I'm not kidding when I say that people will know for a few reasons. I mean, guys, I could rant about this all day and I don't want to rant about it. I'm not going to rant about it today. I swear I won't. I will. You know what? If you want a video about me ranting about how much like AI and writing is completely wrong and completely like ineffective, I can, and I absolutely would. So please, if you want that, let me know. I would love to. One of the things you guys probably have learned about me at this point is that I love to hear myself talk. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I really do. But that is not the point. The point is you need a script. And what I have learned has worked for me is my scripts are usually about 13 to 18 pages. I think the longest for like an episode of Ender was like maybe 20. That's extensive because that would be like a really long episode. I do all of my scripts in script format. So I'd keep that in mind. Like I used to do scripts in a very different way. I just started doing them in script format because I prefer it. Depending on what kind of format you use, your scripts will be different lengths for different times. Now, one, in real film biz, a minute of TV or movie or whatever it is will equal 1 page of script. Now, that doesn't translate a whole lot well to Minecraft because, well, there's a bunch of different factors for why. It could if I tried hard enough, but I'm not going to try that hard. So my 13-page to 15-page scripts are usually around 20 minutes. So if you're doing it in a script format, that's probably what it's going to end up being. Anyway, once you have that script done and you have a world and you have all your skins for your characters, what you're gonna do is use a couple mods. Now the mods I use, the mod you need is Custom NPCs. Whether you are voicing the characters yourselves or you have voice actors, no matter what, you need it. It is great for if you're doing what I'm doing. But even if you're doing fully voice acted stuff, you need background characters that, you know, are not played by body actors because that The amount of body actors you would need in some scenes would be insane. So, custom NPCs is great for that. And what comes with custom NPCs are these great soul stones so that you can transport your NPCs wherever you're going. Now, what I'm going to do is model for you guys how I get a scene ready for a video. Now, usually I do all of the scenes before I start filming to the best of my ability, and then I pause every now and then in a video if I need to fix something or change something or whatever the matter is. So I'm going to be doing one scene that is upstairs in Shayna's bedroom. Now, a little behind the scenes fact, I have no idea how to get around this house. Legit, I have no idea. Sometimes I have to run around, but other times, and it's great to have a mod for this. Also, fun fact, I really don't clean up after myself. These people have been here for like 10 episodes. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, so a great thing to have is a waypoint mod. So a mod where you can travel between things. Now, I have ones for all over Camelot and this world. But I have one for Shayna's bedroom because I can't find my way around this house. Like, legit, I don't know how to get from down there to up here. I don't know. Sometimes there are just worlds where things are a little confusing and you need that. So what we're going to do is set up a scene in here. Now, this scene is going to be for episode 31, which this video is going to come out after episode 31. But if you have not seen episode 31, you should. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ben here and Nia, and I'm going to move them around a bit. And what I need is a chair for this because I need Nia to be sitting down. All right. That's Ben and that's Nia. All right. So we're going to put Nia there, and we're going to put Ben right here. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind with custom NPCs is that there is a range. When you give them a piece of dialogue, you need to be within range. So, see, Ben here is saying, what does that mean? This is from a previous episode. I'm not setting that up yet. So when I'm close to him, yeah, he can say whatever I want him to. But if I go all the way over here, see, nothing happens. I can't interact with him or anything. So you need to make sure that when you're planning out a scene that all the characters are going to be able to be within range of you. Now, of course, that comes with few limitations and sometimes really frustrating limitations. But that's just how it is. Now here I am in a screen where I can pick how it's under movement here, under AI, in movement, and edit, you can pick how your character is doing things. So I need to have Nia sitting and I need to have her looking at me, which means I have her as set as stalking. Now you can have it as their head moves a certain direction or their body can move however, just in a random rotation. You can pick like what specific direction they're facing, or you can pick them looking at you. So I'm gonna have her sitting down. Girl. Girl. Does that look like sitting to you, girl? Gosh. You know what? I think I pissed off Nia's voice actor the other day, and now she's just not gonna do what I say, which is fair, you know. We'll try there. What do you mean? What do you mean? You know what? Fine. I'll show you with Ben. I promise you, the minute I said to record something doesn't work. See? Let's do that. Okay, wait. I made a mistake. Wait. Oh, wait. I think I know why Nia's not working. Okay, yeah. So, wait. Yeah, it's because I had Puppet on. There we go. And she's floating on the chair. I'll show you guys how Puppet works in a minute. But yeah, I need to fix this. And the way you can fix that is position offsetting, which I still not have really figured out. Every time I have to position offset a character, I kind of just go for it, and if it doesn't work, I try again. But pretty much you got your X, Y, and Z positions, and this can range from 0 to 10. You can't go over 10, you can't go under 0. I don't really know why. But that's too far, but in the right direction. See, what I always try to do is try to get in the right direction first. And then I can shift like how far things are if I want to. So it has to be 7. See, troubleshooting. It has to be 7. There we go. All right, so we have Nia there, and she's sitting there, and she's doing great. So what we gotta do then? And you have 2 options for this. Well, actually, you have 3 options. Now, one, you can do a dialogue, which are these categories. You could have them set as different characters, but it doesn't really matter if you do, because when you interact with them, their name will always come up as what their display name is right here. See, her display name is Nia. So even if I set, let's say, her dialogue to Merlin, it's just still going to say Nia. See? Still says Nia. And how dialogue works is that it's basically this set of predetermined categories and dialogues. So what you do is you open up, you have to make as many as there are, as many like dialogue lines there are. So for Arthur, he had about 14. I always try to overshoot it, but it doesn't matter if you overshoot it because you don't have to have one dialogue going to the next, if that makes sense. I'll explain it. So I always label them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and so on, because that makes sense to me. So let's say we have Arthur and his dialogue here. So what I would do is first go in and I put in the dialogue text. And let's just say I'm gonna copy and paste this one. This is a random line I'm copy and pasting. So remember when the church was built? Yes, I do, or maybe I don't. So we're gonna say, and these are your dialogue options, which means these are how your character can respond. So we're gonna say for this one, yes, I do know when it ends. Or I do know when the church was built. Or perhaps, maybe I don't. Nope, no, you stupid. See? Well, now we got another option. So what you do once you have both your dialogue options, or whatever your dialogue options are going to be, you can have up to 6, or you could do what I do, where I have it as like ... so that the viewer doesn't know what I'm going to say yet. You can change the dialogue color, so I can change it to absolutely anything I want. And you can switch the option type. Now disabled, which would mean that it just wouldn't show up. And that means that you would close out of the dialogue yourself. A role one would be, I never use this one, so I'm not entirely sure how you go about this one, but you can I'm sure there's someone out there who knows. You can do a command block, which would use console commands. I don't use this one either, mostly because I don't trust myself to use commands. Now with this one, yes will still show up, but when you click yes, it would just close the dialogue. And then you have dialogue, which you can pick your next dialogue option. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Naturally for me, I'd have it go to 2, and then to 3, and then to 4. And then for the second option, if you want to, you can create really complex stuff where you can just in the moment pick anything, it'll come up with something else. But what I do is just that I have the option there, or at least what I did in the beginning, is I had the second option there, I just didn't click it because I knew I wasn't gonna click it, so I didn't have it lead anywhere. Now you have a bunch of other options here. You can click hide the NPC, which when you do the dialogue, it'll have that little tiny version of their character on the side, or it won't. Then you can do console commands, and you can change how dialogue is shown. You can have a dialogue wheel or not. I don't like the dialogue wheel. I don't use it. It's kind of like if you want more of like feeling like it's a game and less like an immersive experience with like characters and dialogue. That's just how I see it. And you have like these faction stuff and other available options. Honestly, guys, if you're first starting out, kind of just ignore everything but the dialogue text. Don't make your life that hard. You really don't have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her go into this one, and I'll show you what I just did. See? Remember when the church was built? Now that was labeled Arthur, but it still says Nia. So then I can click yes, and this tiny little Nia over here is what I mean when I say that you can like disable that. You don't have to have it. I like to disable it when I remember to, but yeah. And then you have, I didn't put anything else, so it's not there. So there you go. That's how you do the dialogue text. Now there's that one is really nice. I'm gonna give you the pros of that one. The pro of that one is that it can go on for as long as you want. It can go on for as many dialogues as you want. It's easy. The downside of that is that you are stuck in this kind of not very immersive dialogue thing. It doesn't really feel like you don't have the character like staring at you. You can't really see everything else going on around. You can't have things really happening that much in the background unless you have like a body actor. So it's not that, you know, it's limiting. It's a very limiting option. It is the easiest for long pieces of dialogue, but not the most fun. So I'm going to disable that and get rid of that. And I'm going to show you the other option that you have, which is lines. Now, what you're going to do for regular stuff is interact lines. So I have a bunch of interact lines here, and you can just copy and paste them in there. And when I click the character, she will say them. You know, like, she's waking up, Elliot, blah, 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 blah. And with that, you have some other options, like you have world lines and attack lines and kill lines and stuff like that. That's just stuff that like happens in different situations. You can use them in different situations. I really only use interact lines. But the other option it gives you is random lines. Now, random lines is going to default to yes. Most of the time, you're gonna want it be no. Because if it's yes, then Nia is going to say one random line out of the 7 I've given to her. See, she has like 6 lines here. She won't say them in order. She'll say them in a random order. See, like, it'll just be really random. And you're not gonna want that. I can't imagine why you would want to use that for like roleplay purposes, but I guess you could. I don't know. I don't know what situation would call for that, but yeah. Now, this is great because you can look around while you're talking to the character. You can immerse yourself with other characters too. Like when I talk to Nia, I can be like, oh, that's upsetting, it's getting worse. And then I can just go to him and be like, oh, well, he's got opinions about that too. I could talk to 2 characters at once. The downside of this is that you only get 7 interact lines, and these things right here, these other sets of bars, is actually for sounds. So you can put like a specific sound, like if I put wasp ambient from Biomes Aplenty, she would make that sound when I click that line. But yeah, you only get 7, and usually your dialogue is gonna be longer than 7. Yeah, it's just not the best. But then you have your third option, which is conversation. Yeah, because then I can have multiple characters talking without me having to actually click any of them. So I'm going to model that for you. Let's say Ben and Nia are having a conversation right now. So they're just sitting and they're talking, and Nia's like, hi, and Ben's like, I don't like you. And Nia's like, well, screw you. And Ben's like, you ugly fugly. You know, they're having this whole conversation here. And so what happens is I will usually click player nearby. I don't know why, whenever I try to do like always, I don't really no, one, I don't really see the difference, and sometimes when I do always, it just doesn't work. But what this does is you can have a conversation without you having to click on the characters for them to say their lines. And you have a couple options here. So usually with a delay, this will delay 400. Now, I'm pretty sure it means 400 seconds. I'm pretty sure all of these equal seconds. I've never timed it, and I don't actually know for certain, but I'm pretty sure it's seconds. So we're going to do, let's say we're gonna do, 50 seconds. Now this delay is between when this dialogue between Nia and Ben is finished, when it will start again. Now, it will loop over and over until you stop them, and the way you stop them is to just change the character from conversation to something else or to nothing. It will continue over and over as long as there is a delay, and you can't turn off delay. So, see, they're doing it. They're doing it. Hi, I don't like you. Oh, that's really mean, Ben. Oh, how dare you say such a thing to Nia. Nia, you didn't say the other lines. You had more lines. Did I spell something wrong? Oh, well, screw you. Yes, she did it. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. Oh wait, I do know why. That's because I clicked something, yeah. So how that works, if you like click something while they're doing the or if you click on, if you take out the NPC wand and you click on the characters while they're in the dialogue, they will start the dialogue over no matter where you are with the 50-second delay. So that's that. So you could see how it works. I haven't touched them, like I haven't told them to start or anything. They just went and started talking to each other with the 50-second delay in between. And then you have these 40s here. And what these 40s do is how much time is between each of these lines. So between Nia and Bennett, between the time that Nia talks and the time that Ben talks, how long is that? So if you have a really long line, let's say there's a few sentences in the line, you're going to want to actually overestimate it. So let's say, if I had a really long line, like we'll change it to her line, this first line, will be one that I'm taking from episode 31, just random line, and it's just a long one. So when they start having this conversation, in 50 seconds, I think, she will say this really long line. And you need the time to be able to say that line out loud. I don't know. I didn't know. I never felt right doing it. I don't think I'll pray or anything, just looking around. It might be weird to pray to your mother, kind of. And you need 30 seconds. I mean, like 300 might have been overestimating, but you need to be able to have the time to say it before Ben goes on to his next line. So if you're going to do that, overestimate that. Now, the benefit, honestly, I really do prefer conversation. Conversation is probably my favorite one for a lot of reasons. One, it doesn't require me to click back and forth in the characters, so it can feel like a more real conversation because I'm not making them say anything, so I can more better react to them actually saying things. The downside of it is that it takes a lot of back and forth between practicing doing it, like doing the lines that you're trying to have the characters do, to actually filming it right. Usually when I am making a video and using conversation, it takes me like 2 or 3 takes to make sure that all the characters are saying things at good enough intervals to which I am able to say their lines without the next character starting their lines before I'm done. That takes a lot of time and actually like a bit of practice to get right, which is why it's not my default, and my default is doing the dialogue lines. Okay, so you know the 3 types of options you have, but okay, what next? Well, you know what your character's gonna say now, but golly gee, you don't like how the character is just being there, You don't like how Ben is just standing or sitting there. I don't like this pose. This pose is stiff. He's stiff like that. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go to puppet. And now the downside of this is that you can't use puppet and conversation at the same time. I really wish you could. You just can't. It would make my life so much easier, but you just can't. So when you make your character a puppet, you can open this menu where you can move around their arms and their legs. And you know what? We can have Ben, have his head. Oh, he needs an exorcism. Bros just go, whoa, bros like a freaking acrobat. Okay, this is just, wow, this is crazy. So, oh my goodness. Oh, Ben, you are just, oh no. Oh, what's happened to him? He needs an exorcism. Someone free Ben. See? You can do a lot of stuff with that. I really love it. When I do that, I will usually turn off living animations. You know how good characters move their arms like that and stuff, makes it seem more alive? Well, I turn that off and they stop doing it. Just because, I don't know, it makes the living animations, I don't know, they make it look like it's not like a still in life. So that's that. So you can pose your character and all that stuff, and he could be like sitting here like, Anthony, help me. This is fun. So, all right, so what else can you do here? Well, one, You can name the character. I probably should have gone through this first screen before I did anything else, but I just didn't. You got your character's name, and you can either show their name, like see his name is always showing there, or you can have it hidden, which is what I do. You can't see the character's name unless you interact with them. You change how his size, like I could change him to itty bitty. Look at tiny Ben. Little itty bitty blah, 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 blah. Or I can make him big Ben. Wait, like actual Big Ben, like the statue, you know? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna change it back to his normal size. And here at texture is where you can change his texture style. You have a few options. You can do player, like if I changed it to my name, it should change to be me, or like my actual skin. I'll show you why like my skin here is different and that one's different. I'll show you that in a second. But as you can see, it's me now. But I don't use that because it's not useful. Here you can use like a URL. I don't have one to show as an example for you, but like I think that's pretty intuitive, I guess. And you have texture, which is where when you click it, it'll go into your Custom NPCs file at all of the skins that you've placed inside. Now, mine is horribly unorganized. I don't know what each of these skins are until I click them. Every day I'm like, I'm gonna organize this, and then I don't. Like the only ones that make like actual sense is when I switch to a different thing to make skins, and then it has like how these are all organized. These are the NCRS skins are all ones that are organized by day. So by time, I mean, so I know which one is which based on when I made it. And then I have the HD ones, which have their own specific names, just so I know which is which. Like I have this one of Penelope that I used in a thumbnail a while ago. That's obviously messed up because I messed up with it, and you know, it was one of the first skins I did that was more so HD, so I made some mistakes, obviously. But we're gonna go back to Ben's skin, and I know which one that one is. No, not that one, not that one, not that. Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's Ben back. So we got Ben here, and he's you know how the skins work, and you know how to get your characters talking. We got some other options here. You can have a boss bar if you're like battling something, you know, Ben's like the Wither, wrong one. You can have the boss bar show whether you're attacking them or whatever. And then you have visible or not visible or partially. I think that makes sense. You know, clicking no means that when I put this away, he won't be visible. I use this a lot. I use that a lot when I have characters that are in a scene, but they don't enter the scene until later in the scene, you know? Like, when I have this one, there's a few scenes like this, where Shayna and Ben are, like, talking in here, and then another character comes running in, they're like, no, we have a problem! And then, there's the character, like, you know, I have a shot of them running in, but the shot of a character running in is me running in, and I can't have me in a scene with me, if that makes any sense. Probably not. So I will have like an invisible character here that's like the character that's running in, like Riven when Runa was taken, he runs in, you know? And then I have an NPC of Riven here with all of his dialogue lines set up, and then I just have him invisible so that you can't see him during the first part of the scene. But then I can just really easily just pop him right back up, and he's here. And then I don't have to go through the time of setting up the scene again with Riven here now. I don't have to go through the effort of making the character like that, which is really nice, makes life easy. Then you got partial, which means that he'll just look like that completely. I think I only used this once in like a really old episode of the first season of Ender. I think when like Shayna went and got like Grayson when they first met, like under the town center, whatever. I can't believe I remember that, but okay. So I think that's really all that's important here. You have the stats. I don't use that. There's really the only thing I use on here is movement. Oh, another thing with movement is you can either have them standing or you can have them wandering. So they can like wander around. See, like Ben, you can go wander around, dude. Dude, you should wander around. Yeah, no pauses and no stop and interacting. And you know what? No interacting with NPCs and you're gonna go 10 speed. There we go. Look at him running around. Woo! He's the fastest hedgehog in the world. Where are you going? Where are you going? I didn't think you'd come up here. But basically how that works is set as wandering. They will wander around anywhere within the range of 10 blocks. And you can set them to interact with other NPCs. I usually set this as no. You can set them to have like pauses, so like they'll stop every now and then, you know, just every now and then they'll stop. You can set them to have an animation, so he can like sneak. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, so he's sneaky. He's sneaky Ben, you know, you can't really see Ben. Come back here, Ben. I need to show them how this works, Ben. Where did you go? There he is. There he is. So you can have him as that, or here, we're gonna make him slower, that way we can follow him around. And we could change it like aiming, which can also show you the different animations that Custom NPCs comes with. So you have like this aiming, he can aim like that, or you can have him dancing, which is this weird head bobby thing that's kind of stupid. I don't understand why we consider this dancing, but it's dancing, I guess. Or you could have crawling or hugging or just normal. So you got a lot of options there. And then you can have them do a moving path. And what this requires is another item in Custom NPCs, which is the pather, the NPC pather. So what happens here is I will click Ben with this pather. So it's registered to Ben. And that will be default, the block where he's standing is the default first point. And let's say I want to have him come over here. So it's okay, it's got both of the points. And so he'll walk over there. And then he'll just go back and forth. So with that, I can change it back to 5. And again, you can have him stop or not, you know. You can have him different animations, or you can have him like looping and backtracking. I don't really get the difference. They're kind of the same thing. I wish there was an option where they could just do it and then stop, but there isn't. And then you have like navigation with flying and swimming, depending on how the character is moving, like if they're swimming or if they're in the air. I don't really use anything but ground for that. So that is the basics of custom NPCs. Now there are a ton of other options in here and I urge you to explore them. I'm sure you know them more than I do. This dialogue one I just don't use because it's just kind of useless to me. It's really just kind of useless. I don't use it, but if you find it useful, then you can. Someone else can show you how to use it. And there's a bunch of other things in here that you can use. A ton of other things, but yeah, that's just how it is. So you know the basics now and you can understand how this works. So I'm going to set up a scene for you, which is going to be the scene at the end of this episode where Nia and Shayna and Ben and Simon are in Shayna's room. So I'm going to have Ben stand. So stand up. I'm clicking the wrong thing. We're gonna have him as stand normal. There we go. And then, do I have Simon in here? I think I do. Do I not? If I don't, that's perfectly fine because I have him over here, I think, in this one. Nothing I have is extremely organized, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm not a very organized person. I don't even have Simon in here at all, but I know where there is a Simon, and he is downstairs. It's you know, the helpful thing about not cleaning up after yourself is how you can just take things, you know? The downside of that is that you go to do a scene and you realize that there are characters in the shot that are not meant to be there. So we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna go back to Shayna's bedroom. There we go. So we're gonna have Simon we're gonna have him stand right there, I think, because Shayna's gonna be like right here. Okay. there's one more thing I need to show you that is about your character and not anyone else's, or not like any of these NPCs. If you click F12, which is what it defaults to and what's on my computer, is this screen. Now, you can have multiple different characters you can change between. See, I have like character 1, which is Runa, but if I click it again, then I can have Ben, and then I click other ones, and then I can have like a dragon, and I don't use this one because I messed it up, and I just never deleted it, and I got this one, I got this one, and I got this one, you know, and you could change the sizes, you know, how Ben, like Newt here is really small, but then Ben is an adult, so he's a different size. So I just have a bunch of other of these, and I don't actually use, like, this is Shayna HD, but it's King Yonderville, and it's not HD. Again, I don't follow my own rules, but Shayna here, the one I'm using, is character 2, and what you can do here is you can edit it. Now, the way you add one is just with this plus sign. You can also delete them. You know, I'm going to delete the dragon one because I'm not using it. And here you have, again, the skin URL. That's going to be in this file, just with all your custom NPCs, skins. You could change the entity of it. So if I wanted to, I could change myself to a polar bear or a rabbit or whatever. It'll change it to whatever entities are in the game, which is really nice. You can just have any entity in the game, like all of them, like even the Mo Creatures ones and the ones from other mods. Then I could change my character's scale, so I can have like, ooh, tiny head, tiny head, tiny head. I look like that thing from Harry Potter. But I'm gonna change it back. So it's 94. See, you can change all of this however you want to. You can do it with your body and your arms. And with this one, if you click shared, it'll change like the size of just one arm instead of the other. And then if you click share, it'll change it on both. And then you can have your parts, which it comes with a few things. Like you can add the boobs. You can add the boobs. You can add the boobs. You can give your character boobs. All the boobs. I don't use that because I don't know. I just don't think it looks good. You got like claws or ears or something or eyes. Now be warned that these eyes that default with the NPCs and with, you know, this, they don't work if you have shaders on. If you have shaders, it just won't look good. Don't do it. And you got a bunch of options. All right, so now that you understand that and why my character over here was different than the skin I'm wearing now we can go into setting up this scene. Now I'm gonna close the door. And all right, so what we have first is Nia over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into lines, we're gonna change it to non-random lines, and I'm going to get rid of that because I do not want her to sound like a busy bee during this scene. Now, one thing I really wish this mod had was just a delete button. You know, just a delete button you had on the side that you could just get rid of these dialogues, but no, you gotta manually delete them. It's not fun, but that is how it is. So Nia's first line in here is this. So what you really need is to be able to have Minecraft open at the same time as your document with all of your dialogue on it. So that's just easier to copy and paste. It makes life so much easier to be able to do that. If you don't have the option, you do the best with what you can do. I'm lucky enough to have 2 monitors, so I have like my OBS and my Word doc on one side and my Minecraft on my main monitor, just there like it is. So that makes my life so much easier to do. It's just so nice to do that. So I'm gonna get the rest of these lines. And the problem is that this scene goes on longer than 7 lines. So at some point, I'm gonna have to pause my recording and go in and delete all of these and then change them to something else. Also, be wary that sometimes this random line thing will change itself back, so you gotta fix it yourself. I'm gonna go into Ben now, and I'm gonna go back to the top of this scene and then get Ben's lines. Now, you gotta be really careful to make sure that you're not skipping any lines anywhere. so that you're not making, you know, any mistakes. You don't want to make those mistakes. It's really frustrating to get into a scene and realize that a character skips a line because you made a mistake and you're already overstimulated and frustrated and you're ready to just take a nap. That's happened a few times. That's definitely happened a few times. But it is what it is. Now, I'm going to leave this last one empty for Ben. And that is because Nia has another... Wait. Actually, no, this is fine. No, I can do this. Never mind. Sometimes I will leave that bottom one empty when the next character to speak, their line isn't in here yet, or if they like have a second line, like the character, like if Ben had two lines, like let's say if Y, or let's just say if what came right after Y, no character speaks in between, including me, I would, if Y was this last one on the bottom, I would leave that bottom one empty and I wouldn't put Y in yet, just so I didn't have to have a pause between different dialogue sets, is what I'm gonna call them, like dialogue sets. I feel like this is probably really confusing and I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. It's just there's so much to go through. And I'm trying, guys. If some of this doesn't make sense, please let me know in the comments. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. And I'm happy to make more videos like this of showing you how to do other things or just how to use this mod more in depth or just, you know, how to write scripts. I would love to talk about how to write scripts, guys. Please ask about that because I love scripts. There's so much to talk about. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. But now I'm gonna go back to the beginning of my document and I'm gonna go to anything labeled under Simon and put them in here. Now, what did I say now? I don't actually have anything to say. Yeah, so I'm kind of running out of things, but this is the last thing I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna demonstrate this for you guys. I'm sorry this video is so long. I really didn't intend for it to be this long. There's just a lot I have to say, and you know, that's just, yeah. Where's the next one for Simon? There we, yeah, there we go. So we're gonna put this in here, and then this one. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is I'm going to model this scene for you guys. I mean, you could go watch the video that it's actually in, please. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not gonna do my good acting here. I'm just probably gonna like just say I'm just gonna say all their lines like really stupid. So anyway, the first thing I gotta do is, actually, so you see how their heads are up like that? That's not fun. You don't like that. It's gonna be like that if you don't fix it. So I'm gonna tilt no, not his body. I don't wanna move that, no. We're gonna tilt his head down so that he's looking at me while I'm laying down. And okay, so the good thing here is if I can click him with my NPC wand, that means he's within range. So I don't have to worry about moving him or anything. So I'm going to put him to head down. So he's looking at me. I don't need to do it as much because he's all the way over there. So now I have all the characters. All of them have non-random lines. His lines are not random either. Great. So I'm just going to, I should probably do that with Nia, but I'm not going to. You understand the point. So we're going to be like, oh, wait, that's not the first line. Wait, what's the first line? Oh, the first line is from Ben. That's why. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Sometimes I have to like reset things because I'm not entirely sure where I am in the script because sometimes the characters start in random places. The great thing about this, if you want to clear your dialogue, is you press F3 plus D. So the first line is Ben's, which is also not the right line. Dang it. Oh, shoot. All right. I think Simon's saying the right line. So we're just gonna wait. Yeah, we're not gonna wait for that to go away. I mean, usually you'd want to wait for that to go away, but we won't. But actually, it just went away. This is the worst tutorial ever. Why are you still here? So Ben says, "Tell me why I come home to see you carrying Shanna." Calm down, you brute. She couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. Ah, why? She got a dizzy spell when she was met with Arthur and Merlin. Her condition is getting worse. No! It's progressing faster than I thought. This is horrible, guys. Ah! That's actually in the script, guys. The coughing's in the script. I'm not joking. That's watch the Oh my god. What shit? No, you're not doing this. No. Why was I doing that? Sometimes that's from another mod that I use. It's I forget what it's called. It's emoticon, I think, by Mackhorse, I think is how you say his name. It's a good one. I use it a lot. I can do that in another video. Sometimes it just starts doing the emote. I've had that happen in a few episodes that I had to redo scenes because Shayna started dancing all over the place. Okay, well, that is all. I think you guys all understand the point. If you guys enjoyed this video or want more tutorials or anything, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one that hopefully will not be this long or this bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!